Hello dear viewer, this video is a really deep, comprehensive and profound review of the flashlight from the brand Foursevens. The model of the flashlight is Quark, and I believe this is the third iteration of the flashlight, as the name stands Quark MKIII. The company which makes this flashlight, the Foursevens, I believe that they are kind of a daughter company, or maybe the partner company or the sister company of the Prometheus Lights, a really little company which makes in United States custom-made flashlights. Here is the website of Prometheus flashlights, and as you can see, there are tabs on top for Prometheus lights and also for the Foursevens lights. This is the page of this product, Mark III flashlight. I will of course place a link into the description so you can check all the information. I will also say by the end of the video what I found on the web page being different from what is indicated on the packaging of the flashlight, and maybe Prometheus or Foursevens can edit the web page, or maybe they can edit the packaging to really supply us as the customers with exact correct information. Talking about customers, I am not a customer. I received this flashlight from Prometheus. They supplied me with the flashlight. However, I did pay the import taxes from my own pocket. Therefore, I will be talking about everything what I have been able to find great about this flashlight, and this is indeed a great product. And also I will tell you, and I will tell to Prometheus and Foursevens what they can improve, because on my opinion there is really quite some room for improvements to make this awesome flashlight even better, or maybe to target more audience for that. Okay, let's get started. And the flashlight is powered by the lithium-ion battery, which is included in the packaging. This is the battery 16650, slightly smaller in a diameter of that very popular type of batteries, 18850, and therefore you have less capacity available, which is only 2200 milliampere hours. However, at the maximum mode for this little compact pocket size flashlight, it still gives you really good and sufficient illumination at 650 lumen maximum brightness, and also the runtime is over 1 hour at that maximum mode. So I will tilt my camera right now and I will assemble the flashlight and show you in the very close up look all about the body, the structure, the ability to change the reflector by yourself, and install the other reflector, which is available as an extra accessory. And later on in the video has chapters, so you can just scroll at the chapter you are interested in. You will see the night tests of the flashlight as it comes from the package, with like an orange peel type of reflector, and gives you a really nice, smooth, white, evenly distributed light beam with some sort of hotspot as well. Really great light. I like it. And also you will see that compared to the light beam which comes from this flashlight when you install that extra diffuser and extra lens. So let me tilt my camera and find a great angle. Let's say we do it like that, probably. Okay, it holds really well. So the flashlight comes in the box. You can see some highlights in the box. I will read it for you. you have several brightness levels to choose from. The maximum is 650 lumen. The high level of brightness is 300 lumen, which is sufficient. Then you can also get the really dim light, like a moonlight, 0.8 lumen, 0.8 lumen, and also 70 lumen, which is great for walking in the complete darkness, navigating around, really great. Then you have the maximum runtime, what I mentioned, 1.5 hours still at the brightest level, and then at the moonlight it's 160 lumen. It shines up to 150 meters. The throw of the flashlight is 150 meters. The battery, as I mentioned, 16650 lithium-ion battery, and it has really quality high CRI, which is color rendering index. And the color rendering index is something really important, really cool to have when that is as high as possible. And this light has it at 90 plus, meaning that it gives you a really high quality illumination, as close as possible to the natural sunlight, and all the colors and all the objects and colors of the objects are reproduced almost as good as if it was direct sunlight shining in the middle of the darkness. So the colors are really accurate, the skin is really accurate, and whatever, if you are maybe looking for some paintings or some precise, accurate jobs, maybe you are an electrician and you want a high quality light to be able to identify exactly which color of the wire, to be able to distinguish them better, or maybe you just don't have such a really clear and strong vision, and you will benefit from having a good quality flashlight and illumination, and that is really a great product to help you with that. And the last but not least, the light is waterproof and impact resistant, and it has some clever additional modes, which are the SOS mode, the beacon mode, and the strobe mode, if you ever need that. Okay, then maybe I should mention right away, I will bring the picture of the web page. Here it is, and I will immediately tell to Foursevens or Prometheus to pay attention to the following. If I scroll the product page and I go to specifications, I have it open right now. Oh, by the way, not only the beam distance on the website is indicated as 170 meters, and on the package it says 150 meters. I just noticed that, but what I think is more important is the water resistance rating. So here on the website, water resistance rating IPX8 and submersion up to 1 meter, where else on the packaging, I will show you, on the packaging, what submersion is 3 meters and rating IPX68. This is something which customers can really look for. Having an IPX8 is already good, and I was actually positively surprised when I first saw that the rating on the packaging is IPX68, and I was like, wow, cool. Most of the brands, they make IPX8, and Foursevens just went one step above of that. So this looks to me like a misinformation. I would like to see that being corrected either on the website or on the packaging, and I would really want to know what is the exact correct IPX water resistance, waterproof rating. And a part of that, I can also say that neither on the web page nor on the packaging, but also there is some manual inside, and also nor not on the manual, Prometheus or Foursevens, they don't tell us the running hours at the medium brightness levels, which are 70 lumen and 300 lumen. And that is something that me as the flashlight nerd, I'm really looking into it. Most of the flashlight manufacturers, they have a table with the brightness levels, and they tell you at this brightness it will last you 1.5 hours, and they give you for every single mode. For example, I'm really curious, and I will be making this test myself, and I will be making video on that to check how many hours the flashlight will last at 70 lumen brightness and also at 300 lumen brightness. But nevertheless, from Foursevens or Prometheus, I do expect that on the future flashlights they can include a small information inside the box, or maybe print it here on the side of the box, and also of course on the web page. Another thing, since the flashlight is able to be, now I tilt my camera back, since the flashlight is able to be upgraded manually by the customer, by the end user, I really would say that like a small diagram, like a small table, a small picture of the flashlight being, like they make it when all the parts are taken apart off, like taking the head off like so, and then taking like this cap off, and this standard glass off, and like a reflector and everything, and the battery. If the Prometheus can make like a diagram showing which part, especially of the head, since this can be changed with a different reflector, which part goes after each other part. Because when I started to disassemble and inserting a different reflector, then this original lens popped out, and it also popped out with a teeny tiny O-ring which is inside there. And I was not sure when I was installing the other reflector, I was not sure which goes first, the glass and then the O-ring, or maybe the O-ring goes first and then the glass. And every time I do that, I'm still not sure how shall I install to keep the claimed waterproof rating and just a proper installation. Nevertheless, this is a message to Foursevens and Prometheus. Please supply with extra table, or maybe also an extra print on the side of the box, which part goes after which part, especially when you want to assemble and change the different reflector. Let me show you this original reflector. This is like an orange peel type, really cool. The original lens is just a flat lens. There is a teeny tiny, as I mentioned, O-ring. Prometheus, they does give you some spare O-rings. Now we are talking about the construction of the light, so I will take what is inside the box. So they give you this extra two extra O-rings, and also this plastic holder. I will come back to plastic ring. I will come back to it later. So I don't need that anymore. Some instruction manual how to change the mode also comes inside the package. Alright, so here is the one O-ring, and then if you take off the tail cap, here is the second O-ring, and whichever will break for accidentally, you have a spare O-ring. This is good. The room of improvement over here is that I would really want to have a spare O-ring for this teeny tiny O-ring which seals the flashlight from here, because this is the O-ring. I recommend using tweezers to carry this around, and the one I have has a little defect, not a defect, but it's just a small nick, a small thread which is sticking from the O-ring, and this one is really easy to lose. It is really thin, it can be just accidentally damaged, and there is no improvement, and there is no spare O-ring which in the packaging. So Prometheus, please supply a spare O-ring for this specific length. So let me finish this part about the design, construction, and changing over to the diffusers, and then I will play the clips of my night tests. So the way you can get a different light beam pattern is by removing the original orange peel reflector and original lens, and firstly installing another lens which comes in the extra package, Quark Aspherical lens kit. This is an extra purchase. So you have in this set two lenses. They have a dome shape. From one side the smaller dome, from other side a taller. I assume that this tiny O-ring drops down first, or maybe it drops down last. I'm not sure. So it drops down first. Okay. The next drops the new lens with a higher dome being on the outside. So you take it and drop the higher dome, face it down, drop it. Okay. Now it presses against the O-ring, and then goes this white reflector. What this white reflector does, as I was able to see on the night test, and as I understand, it acts in a different way from the original orange peel reflector. I'm first of all I'm amazed. I am very happy that Prometheus Foursevens used an orange peel type of reflector. They have been able to achieve really slightly wider and smoother light beam pattern from a flashlight with a small head, with a little head diameter. That is cool and really handy. And the reflector, either this one like orange peel, or maybe any other reflector like a smooth, very smooth reflector without orange peel. I mean, what they do is they reflect the light from the LED, and then when you see the hotspot, represents like a intensification, if I can say so, of the light. So the hotspot often is really strong and really bright, and in most of the cases, if you shine this hotspot right under your feet, like 2 meters away from you, then at really dark environments you can be blind by the hotspot. In this case, the orange peel reflector does not have this negative side effect, on my opinion. The hotspot, even at maximum brightness, when you shine it right under your feet, does not blind you. But also this plastic reflector, being just made of plastic without any highly reflective surfaces, even though because of this aspherical lens and because of its shape, even though it still gives you a hot spot, which is basically a projection of this 6 angular LED from Nietzsche. Even though it gives you really narrow projection, it still does not represent like a intensified reflection of the light, and it does not blind you if you even shine at 2 meters away from you, right under your feet. It does not blind you, but instead it just projects the LED shape. It's almost like a perfectly rounded shape, and going through the lens, and even at maximum brightness, it does not, the hotspot does not blind you, but gives you almost like a, I can say, the laser like, just a really cool effect. So it's cool. Then you continue the installation. So I was not sure whether the rubber seal goes first or the lens. I put the rubber seal, lens, and then you just drop a reflector like so, and you tighten it up. And then I will also install the battery. Before I install the battery, I noticed, first I thought that the clip is built in, a pocket clip, and there is no way to remove it. But then I found that there is actually one more nut which you can unscrew, and then you can see that this is actually like a typical pocket clip, which I believe you can just pull off and take away and maybe replace or maybe remove in case if you don't need a pocket clip at all. And then you can just screw this back, and your pocket clip is secured. Now the battery goes in. The battery is with of course a flat bottom, the negative contact, and the protruding positive pole. It goes in, screws on, and the light has a rubber button, which I'm a big fan of. I used to have a different flashlight from a different brand with magnetic fancy button. It does not work so well, and why you can check out in a pop-up window here above. Here is a very clicky button, and if you want to make the flashlight to be able to stand on the tail cap on the table, then it comes handy that Foursevens included, in addition to the 2 spare rings I just talked about. They included this plastic O-ring, which you insert in this space, and it gives you ability to place the light. Before I do that and before I show you, I feel necessary to mention that without this plastic O-ring, you can put like a small, you know, a little rope, make it a loop, and have like a wrist strap. So, and you can attach this flashlight on your wrist with this tiny rope, you know what I mean. However, if I were to install this O-ring, it closes out all the holes in the aluminum body of the flashlight. It does give me ability to place the light like so. I can shine straight up with my flashlight head on, or I can also remove the lens, remove the reflector, and just shine like a candle without the lens. By the way, I have a question to Prometheus and Foursevens. If I use flashlight in this way, like a candle, if the LED is very well protected. Is it okay if I accidentally touch it, or a little bit of dust goes inside, or maybe a splash of water goes inside accidentally? Of course, is it okay? If Prometheus is watching, I will be very curious to get the response in the comments to the video. So I think regarding the body, that's pretty much everything I wanted. It is still quite okay and comfortable to select the modes with this plastic O-ring installed, and of course it can stand on the table. Once so the body is made of aluminium, you have some knurling, you have some flat surfaces, maybe like a design features or for a pocket clip. Overall, it's really like less than my palm size, and I don't have a big palm. I normally wear gloves of size 9 or 10 if I want a little bit loose fit. So this is my palm, and this is how it looks inside my palm, and this is like that. What can I talk more about in this first part? But of course, anyway, anytime you want, you just skip to the night tests. So operation. In the manual, what you get from Foursevens, they say about different modes, and these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 modes, and those are 0.8 lumens, 70 lumens, 300 lumens, 650 lumens, and then burst mode, which is also 650 lumens, SOS mode, strobe mode at maximum brightness 650 lumens and 20 Hz frequency, and beacon mode, 2 blinks every 5 seconds. They do not specify what is the brightness of a beacon mode. From my tests, I suspect that is as well maximum brightness 650 lumens, but I would, as an improvement, suggest that Foursevens indicate first of all the exact brightness of the modes which do not have brightness indicated in the manual. And also, as I mentioned earlier, I would also want to see information about how long will the flashlight last at the medium level of brightness 70 lumens and at the high level of brightness 300 lumens. And I will be doing that test myself, so stay tuned, subscribe for my channel, and smash like. And we continue about the suggestions. Let me also take the different angle view of my camera so I can talk directly to you. And my big suggestion for improvement for this flashlight will be to, or maybe in other iteration of the flashlight, to add some more brightness levels, because the form factor of the flashlight being like a pocket size light, on my opinion, it kind of from the form factor itself, it dictates this light to be used often, maybe more time indoors rather than outdoors in really like long-lasting activities outdoors where you need to run or do some sort of search rescue operations, or maybe long walks or trailing or hiking for long hours, because the battery does not really last long enough for those activities. But for indoors, thanks to the lightweight, thanks to the compatibility, thanks to the ability to be able to place this on a flat surface, and thanks to the clip, everything else, it can be used indoors more frequently, and for those activities, from my perspective, I am a seafarer. I believe that this Quark flashlight will benefit from having more brightness levels. For example, in between 0.8 lumen, which is the moonlight, and next brightness level 70 lumen, I think something like 15 or maybe 20 or 25, something in between is missing. I'm a seafarer, I am a navigational officer. My main workplace is at the navigational bridge, and I am there nighttime and daytime. And nighttime I'm in complete darkness, all the lights are turned off on the navigational bridge, and I need a light for my job to navigate around the dark bridge, maybe to look something in a drawer, maybe to boil a cup of coffee when everything is dark, and I am not going to turn off the main lights because we don't do that on nighttime. And 0.8 lumens is not enough, and 70 can be too much, because it can just blind the people around me and disturb the navigational situation and the night vision of the people, of my colleagues. So something in between would be really beneficial to have in this specific form factor of the flashlight, especially taking into account that Foursevens and Prometheus, they do make quite advanced drivers, and I believe they can implement this. What else is missing? And also, I believe that this step from 300 lumens to the burst mode 650 lumens is fine. It does not require anything in between, because making like 450 will be not necessarily, because this to distinguish the really bright light of 300 lumen already, and then 450 and then 650 will be really difficult. 300 is bright enough, and 650 is just a burst mode, also more than enough for the size and the form factor of the flashlight. However, in between 70 and in between 300, I believe that something is missing. Maybe like 120, 150, 170 lumen. First of all, for the purpose of using the flashlight in other activities, for example, at 70 lumen, I was able to identify during my night test, which you can always skip to right away, that this is very much enough for like walking, hiking, maybe some doing low activity tasks. But if I want to be able just to have a little bit more runtime, comparing to the runtime in 300 lumens, and still get some more light, more than 70, maybe for walking fast, or maybe for running, or maybe for jogging with my dog, 70 maybe not enough, and 300 maybe just too bright, or maybe just be too noticeable, lighting too much surroundings unnecessarily, or 300 lumen may just drain battery faster than I would want to. So two additional light modes, the brightness modes, I believe will be very beneficial to include in this flashlight. Something in between 0.8 lumen and 70, and something in between 70 and 300 lumens. Otherwise, I'm very impressed with the light pattern coming from both the original orange peel like reflector, and from that idea of making this plastic white reflector with a spherical lens. It's super cool. And about the configurations and operation. So Foursevens, they have included 6 configurations. I can say that a name preset works better in this case. In my opinion, I would call them presets. So as I mentioned, there are 8 different modes. They include the mode by modes. Foursevens mean brightness levels and those extra operational levels like strobe, beacon, SOS and burst, so totally 8. And among these 8 modes, Foursevens, they configured six various presets. On my opinion, the preset is exactly what it is, and every preset is just a combination of the modes. The preset number 6 has all the modes available, and other presets, they give you the reduced number of modes, which I see for the first time to be implemented in a flashlight, where you can actually select how many modes you want your flashlight to operate in, which is cool. I have never seen that before, but that's cool. The way you change the presets is by clicking the tail cap button 10 times, and as I felt this, the 10th click, or it can be 10 times half press, and then 11 it has to be the full press, the click. So that's the way you change in between the presets. This is not something I'm used to, so I am still not perfect of switching in between the presets. The flashlight is just like 2 days in my hands, but if you choose to get the flashlight, if it satisfies you with the form factor, the battery, the charging design, the light beam pattern, which you can see in my night tests, and you decide to purchase one for you or for your maybe father or uncle or whatever, your loved ones, they will be able to figure it out maybe within 3-4 days with no problem. So, but generally, you should make sure that the flashlight is off. Then only when the flashlight is off, you can actually get the half press. Press it half press 10 times and 11th the full click, and then you just read the manual. The flashlight will blink, indicating in which preset the current in which current preset the flashlight is in, and then you can change them. What I like about having these configurations included, that you can also just configure the flashlight to operate only in maximum mode. So you just every time you click, it's only one single mode, just maximum. You can also configure it to be only in a high mode, which is 300 lumens. So every time you click, turn on, turn off, on, off, no matter how much times you click, it will only be turned on in a high mode, 300 lumens. It's very cool. You can also select to configure to have in a configuration 3, in a preset 3, only the medium and high mode, and also the burst. So in these presets, the burst mode is like an option. If you just click through the flashlight and the presets, click, 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 you will not necessarily access the burst mode. The burst mode is available on demand. When you quickly half press the button 2 times, in the presets, in the manual, which include the burst mode, then you will access the burst mode. But for example, in a second preset, it gives you the maximum, which is already 650 lumen, and it does not allow you to select the burst because it is the burst mode. but for example in preset number 3, just making a full click of the button will toggle in between medium and high, which is 70 and 300 lumen, but will also give you ability to turn on the burst mode by quickly half pressing the button and then accessing the burst mode. Same, what is interesting as well, like in a preset 4, which is very typical to major flashlights of other brands, you can toggle of such modes as low, medium, high, and then again low, medium, high, and then 2 times quick half press burst mode. But in preset 5, unlike in many other flashlights I was able to review, you can also configure the preset where the selection of the mode starts from the high mode, from the high brightness level. It's a high, medium, low, and then again high, medium, low, and then burst, high, medium, low, burst. Cool. And the preset number 6 includes all the available modes of the flashlight. You can toggle in between low, medium, high, and then strobe, and then SOS, and then beacon, and then on a fast half press burst, and then it goes over again. Cool configurations, presets. I think that there is no improvement to what I can think about to address to Foursevens. The only thing, as I mentioned before, I would like to see all the information about the running hours in every single brightness level, and also I would actually want to know what is the brightness level for the beacon mode and for the SOS mode, because those are not indicated in the included manual. Alright, I think this is everything from my recommendations, overviews. Just one more time to highlight, you see I have installed this O-ring, but installing this took an opportunity away from me to put a hand strap, because there is no more loop where I can fit in and pass through my hand strap, the small tiny lanyard. And if this can be changed in the diffuser irritations of the light, I think a lot of customers will benefit from that. Alright, I will just take away the small parts and bits, and I will show you, maybe I will show you the charger, what I have received from Prometheus. This is a tiny clever charger. Let me bring this on my desk. Few words about charger, and then we will talk about the brightness and performance in the night tests. The charger is from the Xtar. It's a charger for a single battery. It's quite modern. It has a USB-C input. The cable is included in the package. It's a type USB type A to USB type C cable, and the charger is pretty versatile. It can charge lithium-ion batteries only, but of really different types. Everything from 10440, I believe this is a double A type of form factor, but lithium AA, and all the way to 26650, which are a big barrel like batteries of a bigger diameter than the one which comes with the flashlight. The output is 1 amp, and you have quite comprehensive information in different languages included in the manual which comes with the charger. So just a quick demonstration. This is 18650 battery, and as well 18650 battery, but with a protection board and also with a protruding positive contact, unlike here, and therefore they are little different in size. So you see the one battery is, this one is longer and also slightly maybe a tiny bit bigger in diameter, but nevertheless, if I remove this battery 16650, you can see that it is smaller, shorter. Okay, it fits in the charger, and the biggest what I have 18650 also fits, but there is also more room for even bigger batteries. And this is an extra charger which comes as an extra device. You have to get this extra from the Foursevens website, or whenever you want to use this, or buy it anywhere else. So great charger, great compatibility, and what I can see that this does not support nickel metal hydride batteries like typical rechargeable double A batteries of 1.2 volts voltage. Alright, that's it, and let me bring my camera up and I will turn on and I will comment on the night tests. Alright, I have been making a night test last night. The overall impression is very positive, except of the suggestions for improvements which I named already. The performance is great for the flashlight of this form factor. So I was using my iPhone 12 as the main camera to make those night tests, and I was also using my 360 camera, Insta360 X3. I placed it on the back on the long selfie stick, and that gave me like a bird's eye view, like a drone like view. So do not judge the quality of the flashlight from the views of the 360 camera, but judge instead the light beam pattern and the size of the light beam from that view. But from the iPhone camera you can see that and you can judge whether you like the intensity, the representation of the light beam, illumination, etc. So let's watch the live test. I will start with what comes as a standard, the orange peel like reflector. So that should be this one. And so, alright, my dear subscribers, this is the night test of the flashlight Foursevens Quark Mark III. I am here at the schoolyard, and this is the perfect location, and I will also give you a nice kind of like a top-down view from my Insta360. I am using a standard reflector, which is an orange peel reflector, and I'm very glad that Prometheus used that instead of just a typical smooth reflectors with a very intense hotspot. So this reflector at a distance of like maybe 25 meters to the corner of the building gives you ability to look also lots of things around the corner. Or for example, if I point my hotspot right on the car, you can see that at this brightness level, which is just the medium level, You can see a lot of things around the car, behind the car, on top of the car, I mean on the roof of the school, or you can see the roof of the school, and also of course before the car, right on the asphalt. So alright, now I will bring you the same standard reflector installed, but I will give you the view like a top-down view from the Insta360 at a distance of like maybe 25 meters to the corner of the building. Gives you ability to look also lots of things around the corner. Or for example, if I point my hotspot right on the car, you can see that at this brightness level, which is just the medium level, you can see a lot of things around the car, behind the car, on top of the car, I mean on the roof of the school, or you can see the roof of the school, and also and once I will guide you once again back to the view from the iPhone through the brightness levels. This is the mode, the moonlight. I can see that, but you cannot see that on the camera. I'm shooting on iPhone 12 Pro. Next will be 70 lumen. This allows me to see a car from a distance of like 12 meters clearly, and also the building behind it, and a couple of windows on the first, second floor, and let's say on the trees. I can see the tree like in 3 meters away from me, and actually I can navigate really well. I can walk safely in the dark, but maybe not run. Okay, next will be the 300 lumen brightness. Okay, and let me switch for this 300 lumen brightness to the view from the Insta 360. And by the way, now there is a strobe warning, so if you are sensitive to strobe, make sure that you are prepared, because shortly there will be a strobe mode demonstrated in the video. The 300 lumen brightness, and this is sufficient for running, and once the tree like in 3 meters away from me, and actually I can navigate really well. I can walk safely in the dark, but maybe not run. Okay, next will be the 300 lumen brightness, and this is sufficient for running, and once again I want to point out how clever the reflector is, and the light, the beam of the light. It is a lots of speed, and I like it, and you will be able to see that way better from the view, like a top-down view on my Insta 360. And that's the one you have now, a top-down view, and you hear that I say there is lots and lots of speed. However, from the top-down view, maybe to you, it does not actually look like a lot of spill, but let me switch to the view from the iPhone, and then you will understand what I'm talking about. The light, there is a lots of spill, and I like it, and you will be able to see that way better from the view, like a top-down view on my Insta 360. And also be aware, now it will be a strobe, and also you have a SOS mode, and then you have a beacon mode, a beacon. So it's actually quite cool that Prometheus, they also supplied the driver of the flashlight. I mean, they programmed the driver with SOS and the beacon mode. And the last what I can show you is the maximum brightness level, 650 lumens. Let me try to get it. And as you probably noticed, on the iPhone camera, I was shooting on the main camera, which is wide but not the ultra wide, and I was barely able to fit all the light spill inside the frame of the camera, so it does give you lots of spill. And what cool about that before in the past I did have experience with the flashlights with that orange peel reflector. Those were the bigger flashlights with the longer head of the flashlight and with the bigger diameter, and the light pattern over there was almost like a complete floodlight without a hotspot. But what I like about this light pattern coming from the Quark, that even though it has an orange peel reflector, it does give you a hotspot which is smoothened right at the edges, and then it is also really wide spill. So that's really cool. And on the videos on this one you can really see on the camera from iPhone. Hold on. You can truly see that. This is the maximum brightness level, 650 lumens. Okay, and let me bring you this maximum brightness level on the view from Insta360. So this will be alright. 1 second. Coming. Okay, we will watch this short clip and we'll start a little bit earlier. And then you have beacon mode, a beacon. So it's actually quite cool that Prometheus, they also supplied the driver of the flashlight. I mean, they programmed the driver with SOS and the beacon mode. And the last what I can show you is the maximum brightness level, 650 lumens. Let me try to get it. Hold on. This is the maximum brightness level, 650 lumens. The standard, the orange peel reflector, does not give you the really long throw. Nevertheless, I can say that it shines in these conditions. We have a little bit of mist now, at least at 50 meters, what I can see, until the very last trees, which you cannot see on the view from the iPhone. But like these couple of trees in like 15 meters from me, clearly visible, really large and soft light of a high quality and very well exactly known 4000 Kelvin temperature, thanks to the specifications given by the Armytek. Yes, and by the way, the fact that sorry, first of all, I mentioned Armytek. This is the different flashlight manufacturer which I used to copyright before. So of course the Foursevens, that's the light on the test in the night test. The Foursevens Quark Mark III, and that was really great that they have exactly indicated what is the color temperature of the light of the LED, and that is 4000 Kelvin. Of the Nietzsche high CRI LED installed in this flashlight, and I really like the color temperature, even if I shine right in front of Okay, and here I would like to play again a clip from the iPhone, and I will be finishing. Okay, let me play quite a bit more from the view on the iPhone to let you really enjoy the night test and get you a full picture of how actually does the flashlight light up the surroundings around you, because as I mentioned, from the Insta360 top-down view you better judge only the profile of the light beam. See on the view from the iPhone, but like these couple of trees in like 15 meters from me, clearly visible, really large and soft light of a high quality and very well exactly known 4000 Kelvin temperature, thanks to the specifications given by the Armytek of the Nietzsche high CRI LED installed in this flashlight. And I really like the color temperature. Even if I shine right in front of 1 meter from me, it does not blind me, because the hotspot is smoothened by the reflector, and the light temperature is not crazy white like 6000 Kelvin, but instead it's just really soft, warm 4000 Kelvin, really cool and really high color rendering index. So I hope this was very informative. Give it a like to my video, and I will be changing the standard orange peel reflector to the additional, the one from the white plastic, which will actually give a much longer throw. I'm very curious to try it. So in just a moment we are switching. Stay tuned. All right, and I will be showing you now the video from the test. What is also cool about this lens that it... Okay, I found it. So let me play the clip first from the iPhone, and here it goes. Alright, so I continue night test of the flashlight Foursevens Quark Mark III, and I have changed a standard like a orange peel like reflector inside the head of the light to the additional, the extra one, which I received for the review and which is available for the purchase, and that will be just a plastic white reflector, and also an additional lens, which is now very spherical lens with a big dome sticking out of the lens. And I will turn off my extra light, and this is a perfect location, and I will again cycle through the... So, and by extra light I mean, and you will also see a little bit of the light spill, because I was filming on the iPhone, and by default a flash turns on, so a little bit of light spill from the flash of the iPhone may be visible on the ground. Preset, one of the presets, which is available in the driver control of this light with all the available modes, and I will show you how narrow actually the beam is. So I'm shooting on iPhone 12 Pro, and as it is very dark now, iPhone switches on by default the flashlight, but nevertheless you cannot see anything what is pretty far away. So I will start cycling. Okay, this is the moonlight. You can see a little bit it on the ground. Next one is 70 lumen, and that is the way you can clearly see that now the projection of the LED light, which is a high quality Nietzsche LED with a color rendering index 90 plus and color temperature 4000 lumen, is projected as almost a perfect circle onto the wall of this school. And let's assume that... Alright, I will play this clip from the view of the camera Insta 360. Let me find the moment. Let me play this from the beginning. This is also very usable. Okay, here. So I will start cycling. Okay, this is the moonlight. You can see a little bit it on the ground. Next one is 70 lumen, and that is the way you can clearly see that
now the projection of the LED light, which is a high.
So even though you can only see a hotspot right now on your view, in reality, the iPhone camera of course showed this a little better, but in reality there is also, nevertheless, there is also a light spill, but very dim light spill when using the Quark flashlight with the white reflector and the aspherical lens. There is still uh, spill, so even like in this brightness mode in 70 lumen, that light spill also allows you to navigate slowly, walking around the darkness without stepping in some pit or sleeping or whatever. So let's continue.
Quality niche LED with color rendering index 90 plus and color temperature 4000 lumen is projected as almost a perfect circle onto the wall of this school. And let's assume that here is about the wall from the ground until the beginning of the roof is like at least 3.5 meters. And
What I mean by that I was shining on the wall of the school, and from the asphalt to the place where the roof begins, the height was around 3.5 meters, maybe just under 4 meters, and at such a distance, which was like maybe 8-9 meters from the wall to me holding the flashlight, that was so it's like 8 meters, 4 meters height, and that was the spill, the projection of the light beam onto the wall. It was such big.
I am like maybe 10 meters away from the building, and that is the size of the hotspot you get. And if you go further on the trees, here you can see perfectly that hotspot is very distinct. What is also cool about this
Okay, let me play this clip from uh,
lens, that it not only gives you a very distinct, very visible hotspot. So now I switched to next mode, and this is 300 lumen,
okay, let's watch this.
and now I can lit things even further away.
Okay, let me bring this on the iPhone.
And if we go further on the if we go further on the trees, here you can see perfectly
Okay,
and
okay,
get
we
even
watch
a
here.
brighter picture. So even though this white reflector gives a really narrow beam, it still gives you a little bit of very dim but still lights to the sides of the main hotspot. For example, I will show you now that here on the wall there are
Alright, and we go to the view from the iPhone.
hotspot. So now I switched to next mode, and this is 300 lumen, and now I can lit things even further.
So a little apologize. We go back to
Some graffitis,
x60.
you can see them already, and also you can see that graffiti is here, and graffiti is clearly visible over here. So let me take away the flashlight.
What I'm talking about in this moment, that again about sufficient dim but sufficient the speed of the light, which still comes even when you install the white reflector and the aspherical lens. And even though I was pointing with the light beam straight into the camera, and holding my flashlight pointing straight, but then when I just turned my hand holding iPhone around, I could also see that the light spill was illuminating the side of the building and the graffitis were visible, so it is still sufficient for navigating around. Let's watch.
And you can see just a little bit of light spill on the ground from the flash of the iPhone. But now, how shall I show you? Like that. Okay, as you can see, my hotspot is projected right in front of the camera view on the trees, but still, if I point my camera on the side, you can see the graffiti on the wall. And now I will take away the flashlight.
Okay, I will try to find a really best moments where you can understand what I mean in these night tests, and I will put them side by side in the video. And in the meantime, when I do that, I do encourage you to check all the links in the description of the video. There will be, of course, links for the flashlight, for the charger, for the aspherical lens kit, and also links to the other channels on YouTube where I specifically talk on topics like electric car reviews and like all the gear which I use for filming my videos, cameras, lights as well, video lights, and more videos will be coming there. So definitely check the links in the description and subscribe to all the channels what you will find in there. So last what I feel necessary to show you, that is a comparison side by side. I will bring this on the screen. I will just scrolling through the videos. Maybe this moment. 1 second. Okay, and I will bring this up on the screen. On your left you will see the Quark flashlight with the standard reflector, and on your right, on the slightly bigger portion of the overlay, you will see the Quark with a spherical lens and the white plastic reflector. So I will just play without sound, and here is the comparison. You can see that on your left screen with the flashlight I am able to illuminate like an entire building of 2 floors from down to the top, just being like a few meters away from the building, which is quite unique, and that is thanks to the very great orange peel like reflector, which even at short distances, and that is maybe I was like 6-7 meters from the building, and you can see that I'm still able to light everything, versus on your right, at the same distance from the building, you can see that it gives a really bright hotspot, and it also just a little bit lights up the bottom of the building and the roof without so much intensity, which can be good for certain use cases as well. And this aspherical lens kit with white reflector indeed gives you more throw of the beam, so it shines further away. And I think that's basically all what I wanted to show in this very nerdy video. Maybe a few few more clips. I think this is a good one. And can I find the same over here? Yes, I can. Okay, here comes the last portion. Again, on your left is a standard lens which gives you, and reflector, which gives you a diffused view. And as you can see, I shine on the corner of the building where my car is parked, and from the same distance, I would say in the same place on the same building, I shine from the flashlight with a narrow beam with aspherical lens kit. I can play with the sound.
Index 90 plus, and color temperature 4000 lumen is projected as almost a perfect circle onto the wall of this school. And let's assume that here hotspot is from
Okay, and I will play now with the sound. Other clip.
brightness level, which is just the medium level, and you can see a lot of things around the car, behind the car, on top of the car, I mean on the roof of the school. You can see the roof of the school, and also of course before
And
before
when I shine, like on your left hand side, with the standard reflector, you can see that I can light up the entire car, and also lots of area behind the car, above the car, few more windows of the school to the side of the car. And that is exactly what that's exactly the strong point of this flashlight. Really clever, good standard reflector, orange peel like, with a great light beam profile. And again, I can see that I may be using this aspherical lens kit for the purpose on my night shift on the bridge, where I strive to disturb as less as possible my colleagues around, and like projector like light beam from the aspherical lens kit can keep me can give me ability to stay a little bit like low profile, because it only shines where I point the flashlight to. It does not light up surroundings around so much like it does with a standard orange peel like reflector. However, I will still be missing one brightness level in between the moonlight 0.8 lumen and the next brightness 70 lumen. I will still be missing, and I can feel that using 70 lumen may be a little bit too much. Like, I mean, using a 70 lumen with a standard orange peel reflector and having a wide spill on the navigational bridge in the middle of the night in 3 o'clock in the morning, just to boil up coffee, that will be way too much. It's way too bright. And 0.8 maybe just not enough. Therefore, 70 lumen with the narrow beam coming from the aspherical lens kit and just a teeny tiny bit of light spill can help in that situation, but still brightness level in between would have been even more suitable for the scenario I'm talking about, specifically in my case. I think that's all. I am recording now 1 hour 20 minutes, very nerdy review, but nevertheless stay tuned, because I have another flashlight of the same form factor at home. I will be comparing this to the Armytek Partner C4 flashlight, and I will also be comparing, of course, night tests and the chargers. The one comes from the Xtar and the ones I have from Armytek, and also I will be reviewing other accessories which Prometheus has supplied me with, and this will be what they call as Kappa. It's like a quick release solution for your keychain ring, which allows you to quickly disconnect things apart and then quickly connect them again. So this is a teeny tiny thing. I have 3 of them, and I will be checking them out first because I have only installed this Kappa yesterday. I still need to do some tests and try to figure out the best possible use case scenario for myself. And that's it. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to my channel. Check links in the description for products I have talked about for my other YouTube channels. Subscribe, check the pop-up links appearing over here, and also the videos which appear at the end of this one. Thank you so much. Stay tuned, subscribe, and I will see you in the next videos. Bye.